When I was you don't watch my vlogs, and chances are you're new, but welcome. And then God doesn't because I'm like, I come down the way, and then you guys are telling me, hi Mrs. N, where have you been? Why wasn't Lama? Because I'm not. Hi family and friends, welcome to Life in Between with Mrs. N. I am Winona, those who don't know me, and this is our YouTube channel. So guys, on today's sit down, well, it's been pending for a very long time. I decided that I wanted to do a quick get to know me, and I asked questions on my Instagram page, and I shared my handle here on my YouTube community, and some of you went over to Instagram to ask her a couple of questions, and I'm not gonna go through almost all the questions. I just chose a top 10 questions. Some of them were repetitive, some of them were literally things that I talk about on this channel all the time. Most people, I saw that most people didn't really mention the questions from YouTube community on the post that I posted, because I don't know, man. I think it's unlike Instagram. It's not so instant where I can ask you a question. You can freely ask a question, like submit one, because if you ask a question here on YouTube, it will go onto the under the post where everyone sees your question. So sometimes I feel like other people are not comfortable with that. So I'm still trying to figure out a way to get most response from you guys. I know there are people who would have loved to ask me questions who saw the post here on community. Well, the one for Instagram had already expired, and I'm starting to think if I maybe should put up more questions, and probably even if it's in a month later, do another Q&A and only focus on questions that were not asked this time around. Otherwise, the questions are not much, guys. I just wanted to see if I'm leaving something behind. And there were also my lovers who were just DMing me saying that no questions, because they feel like I've been quite open and there is nothing to ask actually, and they figured if they were to ask anything would be really personal questions, and they were like, we're good with what we're saying. And some other people just asked really nice questions that are generic and just life and in between questions. So yeah, let me just quickly go through them. I will be putting up the questions obviously on the screen when I'm done shooting this video. I'm just gonna read on my phone now and answer the questions. I just screenshotted them. Hopefully I didn't lose this. I just screenshotted the questions from my questions asked on YouTube. They are very shuffled. I wish I had sorted out the questions, but anyway, I'm just going to go through them as they are. So someone asked me, you seem so good with kids. Is your career child wellness related? How I wish. I highly advocate for the goodness and wellness of children. I'd like to see kids healthy and happy, and growing up in homes that they are raised with the basic needs are met, they are treated good emotionally, and so I highly advocate for child wellness being, but I have nothing related to child wellness and anything that's got to child development or anything like that. But I highly advocate for the wellness of children. I mean, children are the future adults that we have to deal with in this country, in this world. So best have premium crop planted to get the best results of a product that we're giving out. So yeah, I advocate very much for kids, but I don't have a career that's related to such. Second question, who are your favorite top 3 YouTubers in SA, and who do you draw inspiration from? Let's take this question, the last one, and then I'll explain everything. So let's put that question on pause and let's go to the other question. Your advice on marrying young, what are your pros and cons? So I think I did a video on this. I'm gonna put a link on this video where I shared my why advice on marrying young. I'm pro that, but obviously now that I'm saying I'm pro that, it doesn't mean that I don't advocate for people who are not young not to get married. I also think marriage is an absolute blessing, and if it locates you and it's the right person, right time, just say yes to it, as long as it's a healthy marriage. But I do advocate for people to marry young. It's less baggage from both sides, it's less complication, especially if people, like young people, at some point, that some of them, because one of my qualities that I was looking for and circumstances when I was dating is umntu must not have a child for me to see a future with, So marrying without a child and someone who doesn't have a child also was very fundamental with us. We didn't have any baby mama, baby daddy drama, and well, it's quite rare to be grown and not have kids. I mean, as an individual, at some point, maybe also you feel like I should have my child now, and then once you have the child, it didn't even matter that with a partner that is going to be absent or you're not married, and then later on you get married in life. There are such instances, and then you get the beautiful blended families. But marrying young, sometimes if you are a person who is hoping, gunning to have that immediate family, that you have not a blended family, you have a traditional original family, then things they must consider if you want to marry young, that not that there are older people who do not, who or all have kids. Some of them, they don't have kids and they're grown in their late 30s, 40s. So it's also highly possible to have a marriage without kids at a later age. But I'm pro marriage young, less baggage, I believe, and you grow together in terms of asset. There's no calculated moves. We are in this together, we're starting our lives together, so everything we do, it's our hands are both in the pocket, in the pot, and no one feels like they certain things they want to protect, blah 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 blah. Sometimes when you marry young, in starting off, there are people who are young and already have got assets and sometimes inheritances that they are holding dear to them while they're young also. But I feel like it's less complicated to marry young. You grow old with your person, you raise children early if you decide to have children early. Those are my pros, and it's emotionally and spiritually fulfilling there to not have met a lot of obstacles on the way, and then you still find my right person later on in life, and then you have this baggage you have to heal, you have to forget, you have to learn and relearn. So I feel like sometimes marrying young helps you to be clear-headed on what you want and go for it. So the cons of it: growing old with someone, also they can be changes that you experience, and then your needs or the person you grow into, learning the world, and you figure out some things that you need to learn and relearn, and sometimes it would take a lot of maturity for people to understand that the same person you married when you were very young is not the same person that you have as older, or their needs have actually changed drastically. I mean, from being a young, naive young person to being a responsible husband, a wife, spouse, and then to parenting. Priorities change, needs change, how you experience life change and relate to it changes. You get exposed to new lifestyle sometimes, and so sometimes the con could be that it is not letting go of the old young person while you have grown so much together. So otherwise, I don't have any cons that that are so obvious and standing out for me. I feel like no, there are not much cons. If some people may have a lot to say about marriage, while me being inside marriage, I don't have a personal con. I feel like some challenges that I've personally faced marrying young were fit into the scenario. They are not drastic, and I wish I didn't do this, or I wish things have been done differently. I felt that also if I had married older, no one would have prepared me anyway for the true marriage path until you are inside the marriage, and then you learn a lot, you evolve, and so what I'm trying to say is that your pros and cons are sometimes tied to your values and what you believe in. It might be, for me, to say it is a con to marry young, and you feel like it is a pro because of your values, and so we must take that into consideration, that it also matters on what you also believe in to substantiate what you believe is a pro and a con in marrying young. But for me, marrying young has been a beautiful journey for me, and I have absolutely no regrets going this journey and growing old with my husband. So yeah, there you have it, guys. And then a question: are you still a 9-to-5 queen or a full stay-at-home mommy and wifey? How I wish. This is a dream that I am dreaming on a daily. I'm still very much in corporate. I am working 9-to-5, and it's been a struggle that I feel sometimes it drains me before it begins every week, but I put my 110% in my work. I ensure that my work doesn't suffer because of how I feel emotionally, because it's a blessing to also get a job, to be able to help in my family, to contribute financially. I mean, the economy is very horrible at the moment, so to have a permanent job and a job and job security is a blessing. So with that being said, I really want to fall onto the freelancing side, to have more control of my time, so I can be able to raise my kids and be more than involved. And I mean, 8 hours apart doesn't start from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's waking up 5 a.m. before they sleep, you are gone. So the last memory you have of each other, it's bedtime, which is 8-9 p.m. and then from 5 p.m. you get home probably at 6, so it's 6, and then there's dinner, it's a lot, guys. And then you figure out that by the time you sit down and you enjoy your kids, it's already almost bedtime. So I really wish and pray and working towards that. In that instance, I'm really trying to revamp my Instagram by posting more and trying to redirect my passions into Instagram and see if the influencing will work for me. Otherwise, I really do want to step out and be an influencer, freelancer and contractor on the side. So there's a project that I am working on. It's still on the mind, being developed in the mind, being comfortable with it. Otherwise, 9-to-5, babe, I am momming, wifing while working 9-to-5. So it's like having 2 jobs. How has being a mom changed you? Sure. This question, how has a mom changed me? I feel like it has absolutely changed me. It has introduced a new me that I had no idea that I have, and it has, guys, I think I haven't even slowed down to digest and go through the feels on how I have changed. But I know how I've changed so much. I'm more responsible, I am kinder, but also I figured that I'm stricter when it comes to me, and I feel I am very much protective of who I am and my mental health and well-being. I always feel like that I have to set an example, like things I would allow to happen when I was younger before the kids, or I would be oblivious to them. Now I am very much direct, and I don't people please, because I used to do that for the sake of peace, but now I don't people please. I do what's best for me and my mental being, because once my mental being wellness struggles or limps, and then it directly affects my kids. So now I try to be the best of myself, even health wise. Guys, when you're a mom, you also try to be healthy, because health means your life is prolonged on this earth to be with your kids. I never even imagined that before. Like, I need to keep myself healthy. I need to stay alive as long as possible so that I can see my kids grow. I can see their kids grow. Like, it's so scary when you think of it, that I'm not alive because I want to be alive solely that, but I also want to be alive for the kids that I've brought into this life. So mostly it has changed me to put the kids first. I always want what's best for them more than even wanting best for me, and it turns out to be the best for me because it's just a cycle of that. I want the best for the kids, and then it comes from I also need to be the best on myself so the kids can get the best of me. And it's been challenging emotionally wise. It's a roller coaster because for me I feel like it's the biggest struggle, parenting without a parent. Like parenting without a mother has been the greatest challenge. Like it is a roller coaster. I go into dips, I go into highs, and even on the dips you can't stay on the dip end because these kids are looking at you like this is our mama while you're crying over your mama. So there's not a chance for you to have a low, to be on at your lowest with kids. Nje, it's supposed to be there's no time, and then the next you're jumping out of the plane, parachute open to get yourself from falling. So there's no time to actually to loaf around. Mainly for me it has changed for me to actually, even with myself, for some things with my mother, motherhood has changed me to be so forgiving, to be so appreciative, and to practice gratitude even more. I'm so grateful. Before I thought everything I'm deserving, like not everything. I felt like I'm deserving of A, B, C, and D. Like if I do A, I deserve B. And now in things, I'm getting things that I'm wishing for. I'm so appreciative. I'm full of gratitude. I'm even grateful for Jay just for breathing and waking up in a day. So it is life-changing, guys. It is life-changing. And the fact that my life now, it's not about me alone. It's not about me. There's kids that I brought into this world. Ndaba order that I want you guys here. Nizopila. So now I need to give you the best of the best because you never asked for this. I invited you into this world, so I must love and smother you and but I'm very grateful for that. It has created a very better person that I am. I've simply calmed down, and I'm taking smaller steps sometimes to be my Shafia self, because sometimes at some point I feel like I've lost touch of who the core of me, like who is Winona, who is she, like girl, who are you, with everything that's happening around you, with putting other people before you, like with kids. Like there were so many changes that happened at the same time for me. The kids, there was in-laws at the same time. So now I'm finding my feet. So yeah, it's changed me. Motherhood has changed me so much. Hi mama, what did you study in university? I studied operations management. It was still under engineering, now it's under business, and I do understand why that shift has happened. So that's what I'm currently under. But I'm trying to, and I'm also in the supply chain automotive world. So, but I'm trying to leave this corporate. Like I don't see myself as director, what. Like I want a job because you earn in a job. But I take pride with what I do, and yeah, I take pride with what I do, but at the same time, I want money and time and passion. That's all I want to do. I want to practice passion. What is your coping mechanism when your anxiety kicks in? Yeah. Guys, when my anxiety kicks in, it feels like, that feeling like something is bad is happening and you can't think of the positive things, and then it's you know what, guys, there is no, when anxiety, and there is actually no formula. I feel like a lot of us should be in therapy because there's a lot of triggers in this world. Yeah, like when it comes to mental well-being and everything, like there are many triggers. You could be personally struggling with something, and then you go to work, and then there's a trigger there. Like corporate, it's giving good and bad. Like corporate can be so toxic, that it triggers your personal issues or raises anxiety. And my go-to always is, girl, you're a queen. I always remind myself that I'm a queen. I am not in this world for no reason, or no for anybody to climb or anything to climb on top of my head and make a shack out of my thoughts. Okay, even the slightest negative thing, I remind myself, go to this one, ndithanda ndingayisusa. That's all I say. Ndithanda ndingayisusa. But I always go back to and I settle down before I react. Always in any situation, I regulate by reminding myself that I come first in any situation, and that this moments always pass it. So it's important always to be within yourself, calm down, be in the space, be in the moment, recognize it, like snap out of your brain, because the brain can be very deceiving. Like it plays moments in your brain, like moments and memories, or even create some scenarios to help you with the feeling that you're going through, especially negative feelings. It's so easy to run with the wind and then bonus, or where you are already ahead with what's going on. So it's important to just stop and pause and realize this is where I am and what is going on and what happens in the future. So I always stop myself most of the time and just catch my tongue on most places. Journaling also helps, although you can use your phone, your physical journaling, and what else? Your gospel, guys, like just to sit in silence, could be gospel, and then it speaks to you, and then it says the things that you cannot even comprehend yourself. Sometimes you can't even locate the feelings that you're feeling. You can't even locate that there's an attack, like you're experiencing anxiety. But sometimes the gospel comes in and fills something in you, calms you down, and then it lets you, sometimes allows you to identify the feelings and deal with them. So gospel, and just you will find me googling quotes about fear of, quotes I always Bible quotes to deal with. I always Google such things. I always fill myself with positivity. I try not to dwell on the negative most of the time. If it's I'm triggered, my anxiety is triggered by WhatsApp, I log off and phone. If it's Instagram, because I notice Instagram has something that would trigger my anxiety. Sometimes it would step on my fears, and sometimes it would overwhelm me, the fact that I would see other influencer moms, stay-at-home moms. It would trigger that. It would start thinking of my situation, how it's not going as I would wish it would. And you know what, I would do currently my notification on Instagram are off, because I have to be mentally prepared to go in Instagram and consume the content that's there, than me having a notification and then going into it and having a meltdown or a crash while I'm on Instagram, or challenge myself mentally. So my notification on Instagram are off, and I am controlling me being on the social media side than it inviting me into it. So that's what I do sometimes. Otherwise, read a lot. Also, you do read books that are helping with mental and wellness. Although it's very difficult to be reading if you're a parent, because time, especially if you don't have a support system. You are not, like, for instance, I don't have family around that, like, family you can rely on and say the kids, like you're taking them for the day and then you have a moment to yourself, or things like that for your hobbies or whatnot. It's basically my husband Jay says Mele. But guys, mental health comes first. You must do what you must do what you can. Exercises, reading, have a small community, even if it's online. If you are that person, connect with people. So who are your favorite top 3 YouTubers in SA, and who do you draw inspiration from? Guys, the YouTube in South Africa is booming. It's so big, and it's so hard to even reduce it to three favorites, because there's house and home content that's going on, there's Christian content going on, there is parenting content going on. There is a marriage lifestyle going on. There is reality going on, like interviews. But you know what, guys, the one person who inspired me when it came to creating content, who inspired me that I must just keep on going and try to work on my craft, was this lady who's also on radio. So it's Relebohile Maboja. It's her channel, which is Unpack with Relebohile Maboja. I would listen to those real true stories, human experiences, like the way she would conduct herself with kindness, understanding, the intellect, the everything. She really inspires me, and I followed her. I needed to find out who this woman is to understand she's in radio, journalism, and all of that. It really inspired me. And there's a lot of women, man. I could go on and on with my favorite YouTubers, even the fun, crazy ones, guys. Like even the fun, crazy ones, because I watch my content consumption on YouTube. It's very mixed. It's very mixed. I could go from a serious like watching that and life experiences, to having a one-on-one interviews with people, to having vlogs, watching vlogs on what people get up to because they're so lively, to having sit downs, like people dishing us news. Like there's a lot of inspiration that I draw from a lot of people. So yeah, the YouTube poll, it's big and broad and it's fulfilling, so I'm very much happy with those. And another question, how old I am. When I was you don't watch my vlogs, and chances are you're new, but welcome. I'm 29 years old. Well, the thing of having your birthday like at the end of the year, you carry the same age throughout, which is nice. But it's so confusing because you're thinking, because for some reason I thought I'm going to turn 30 this year. I don't know, I had just that feeling that I'm gonna turn 30, and I started fantasizing about my 30th. Well, it's because most of my friends are turning 30 this year, which is such an awesome experience, seeing them celebrate themselves and reflecting. So I'm 29, I'm turning 29 this year, still a young old babe. But yeah, I think this should I add more questions? Because there's more. Who do you trust to share marital challenges with? There are different aspects to marital challenges. When it comes to that, there could be like one-on-one, where honey, if ever you can't deal with them with your partner like directly, then they need a counselor straight out, or those things. If you share with anyone else outside of the both of your marriage, and then they could destroy you. Then there are challenges, general challenges that you can chat about with your girlfriends, the most trusted girlfriends, like running a household, things like that. And there are challenges like family related challenges, like boundaries, clashes, conflicts, that you can share with your family or in-laws, whoever that's involved. And just what you need to have is have people trusted on your corner and know what to divulge on people that are surrounding you. There are things that are a big no-no, and there are things that your partner cannot even be able to support you on, as in you can't discuss with your partner, or things you can learn from, like sharing a space with your partner. It's not, some people can be so strict with sharing the space with their partner, where you feel like it's only your space, that you only have a say as the woman of the house, blah blah blah. So that you cannot have, it's a marital issue, but you obviously cannot have that conversation with your partner. Or no, sometimes you need people to advise you on such. So it depends, but you must always have trusted people in your corner. If it's something that it's very sensitive to your marriage, then a trusted person that can help both of you, who wants the best for both of you, is a counselor. But because of that, you must be careful sometimes as humans, we like to hear what we want to hear from people, so we would know who to contact, who would be supporting us. For instance, if I contact my sister about something, I know she's going to be pro me than pro husband. But I would never say that. My family is very fond of my husband, and you know, but guys, if I'm African and they sit in their shadow, they would send me back to Uyo, because not Usmaruabo, okay? So they are. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that, so we must also be careful as as a married person on who you open up to, and why are we even opening up to those people. What is the main objective of seeking counsel in those people? Are you seeking to for support, for emotional support? Are you seeking to correct? Are you seeking for advocacy, or are you seeking level? Sometimes if you are seeking for level, then there is no help in that, né? Yeah, that's what I have to say. What do you also want to say? Yeah, guys, ayikho lento ethi ifanendo, hayi ungazuyenza lonto mntasekhaya. There's always a channel where you can get assistance and support, but you must be careful on where you seek your counsel. Yeah. You must be very careful on where you ask for your support in your marital or even relationships, because sometimes an ear that listens is an ear that is ready to bite. Yeah, guys, those are the questions that you guys asked. I don't know what questions I was expecting, but those are the questions that I got, and I did not expect those questions, which is nice, because they're making me think as I try to answer them, because I just screenshotted them, and on the last hour they were up on my Instagram. Let me check if there was a question on my YouTube community. I want to do lives, because I'm always scared of it lives, and I saw people were starting, when I tried them out, I saw people were starting to join on my lives, and and then went back to my shell. So I will go back to lives soon. I just have to find time. Oh, guys, okay. It was a very question because guys, this other weekend I didn't know you guys really like me, yes. And then it isn't my because I'm like, I come down to Woyle, and then you guys are telling me, hi Mrs. N, where have you been? Why wasn't Lama? Because I'd give out and then I'd see, but and then I'm like, and then when I do that, you guys remind me, you could say, I am your hun, I am your Mrs. N, and you love me, and can go and pin away with a bang. Sorry, my hands. Thank you to those who have been coming to me. But no shit. But come back when now you can't just disappear or do as you please here. Consistency is key, and you know that we are here for you. So guys, and so yeah, thank you so much for submitting your questions, and thank you so much for interacting with me, and just let me know what you think on the comment section on this video. And if you still have questions or even advise me, but I just PS questions so that maybe we do another one, last one for this year. I'm gonna do another one and last one of where's the Q&A, because I think I must do a new Q&A, because the reason I did this Q&A is because a lot of this channel has grown this year. Like, we are sitting on 3,000 and some odds. Like, I am very much happy. I'm very much happy with the direction this channel is going with, and I'm still trying to I can't believe I'm still trying to figure out how would you like my videos to be, because when I post short ones, I've got people who get excited, like, it's very short, it's what I need. And then when I post long ones, there are also people who are so excited over short ones. Hi, we don't know what you were doing producing short content. Yeah, now you're back on our screens. So I'm so conflicted on what length of my vlogs or videos you would like to or prefer to have. Otherwise, now guys, I'm ready to give you whatever you want. You just guys may have to make me know what you, but now it's so conflicting. It is really conflicting, but it's a nice life problems, because you're wanting me but wanting me in different ways. Okay guys, so guys, yeah, It always feels, I think I miss having sit downs. Maybe I should have a sit down kid in Basel some things. I be life in it, guys. Did Basel some things. Man, hey, I got a guys to cool it. I feel like so grown on this channel. Like I was such a baby when I started this channel. And I'm so grown, I'm so comfortable, I'm so relaxed, and it's the love you've been giving me, guys, and I appreciate that. So without Uigoba, with all the questions that you've asked, thank you so much for engaging with me. And if you have not had a chance, I'm sorry, just advise me below on DNs and Jani so a lot of you can feel included on my question and answer videos, because I'm going to do one big one pretty soon, and I want to understand where do you want to submit your questions. Like I feel like Instagram is easier because I don't know, but let me know, guys. Maybe I put up maybe an entire week, maybe 3 times a week, that question, so different people don't see that I have a question and answer and the post is already expired. Let me know what you guys think. Otherwise, from Mrs. N, Mrs. Nongaula, because I see some people still say Mrs. M. I think it's a typo sometimes, but I am Mrs. Nongaula, Winona Nongaula, and that's how I came about to be Mrs. N. So from Life and In Between Mrs. N, until the next video, lots of love.